thought actually this would be a good point to actually talk about consent. Because I know that a lot of you, well, some of you anyway, just said, oh, well, it's going to be opt-in for everything. So we'll just change our permission statements to opt-in. And you didn't need to do that. But let's think about gaining permission from the consumer to use their data. This is really what it's all about and why the new regulations come in. Because we're all consumers as well. And we know that actually there's a lot of information about us. You know, James just said he's really quite worried about how much information Conversant know about us. And this is why it's important that consumers understand what's going to happen with their data. So it's about education, being really clear and letting them know what we're going to do with it and the benefit they get out of it. So we've looked at this slide before, and we'll see that, you know, if we can get consumers to agree to share data with us, there's a lot of benefit for them because they get to see your products and services, and they get to see all the different catalogues, and they get promotions and offers. And there's a lot of benefit for us because we get to understand those consumers much better, which makes our marketing campaigns work better, and we all make more money. But have you thought about, when we're collecting all this information, are we really thinking about that consumer when we're collecting it? And are we thinking about what they feel about sharing that data with us? It's really important that we get their engagement and we get them wanting to share data, because actually, if they don't, a lot of this powerful information goes away. And if they decide not to share data with third parties because they don't see any benefit at all of the great solutions that we've been able to show you today are going to stop working. So thinking about that permission statement is actually probably a bit more important than you might have thought. So how much thought are you putting into the wording of your permission statement? You spend a lot of time working with us to work out who's going to get your catalogue, what's going to go in the catalogue, what products are you going to sell, what's creative going to look like. But in actual fact, when it comes to can I actually send you this catalogue in the future, and getting people's permission to do that, have you thought about that? And actually, can I share your data with like-minded businesses so I can really understand your purchase patterns? Are you thinking about that? Because we've got this hugely rich database with more than just lifestyle and demographics. It's also got all the transactions in this as well. But if we don't attend to that and lots of people opt out, it's going to be blocked out. So that's just something to consider. And as James has said, it's perfectly okay to have an opt-out statement if you're sending them direct mail. So the existing rules apply. Opt-in is still what's necessary if you're going to email them and send them SMS. But for direct mail, opt-out is still okay. So a few points to think about is when you're writing that statement, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Why should they share data with third parties? Make sure that the explanation is really clear. It's in readable font, it's not buried somewhere in their privacy policy, and it's not teeny tiny writing. And be positive. You know, explain that they're actually going to get some access to discounts, offers, products that they may not have realised that existed before. Make sure you don't do any pre-ticks for them. Put them in control so they're feeling really good about it. Make it easy for them to opt out. So the opt-out statement is very easy to find, but actually give them compelling reasons why they wouldn't want to. So I've got some examples of the types of statements that you are all using at the moment. Now, I haven't put your names on there, but I think most of you are here, so you'll probably recognise your own statements. So see whether you do. Okay, and put yourselves in the consumer when you see this statement, into the consumer's shoes. Right. Send me posts from appropriate third parties. Why? It doesn't tell me why I should do that. What benefit do I get? It's also an opt-in, which isn't necessary for postal consent. It only needs to be an opt-out. So I have to say, I believe that the shareable rate from that statement is probably likely to be very, very low, because it just isn't engaging, and it certainly doesn't tell me what's going to happen with my data. Another one, direct marketing. We may share your information with other organisations. Why? We or they may contact you for marketing purposes by mail, telephone or otherwise. Well, what's otherwise? What are you going to do there? Tick this box if you do not wish to be contacted by third-party organisations for marketing purposes. Okay, so that's knocked out, that's good. Still doesn't really tell me what you're going to do though. From time to time, we make portions of our mailing list available to carefully screened organisations whose products may be of interest to you. If you prefer not to receive these mailings, please tick this box. Now, this is a bit more benefit-led, so carefully screened organisations, okay, you're not just going to share my data with anybody, and as a result, I'm going to get products that could interest me, okay. And I've got the choice. I can decide not to do that if I don't want it, but actually, I'm probably okay for that to happen. Then we've got another one of our members that has gone the other way. This isn't for sharing data with third parties. This statement is about them getting first-party agreement. But what they say is once you've provided us with your name and address details, you'll join your fellow customers in being one of the first to receive our latest catalogues as soon as they're published. These colourful catalogues are packed full of fantastic ideas, all at great value for money, of course, if we do tempt you to buy, you can have the confidence in our well-known traditional customer service values on which our shop is based. Thank you for your interest in us, and we hope you enjoy your catalogue. Really selling the value. You know, yeah, I want to get this catalogue, I want to keep getting it. So as you can see, there's no one statement that people are using. They're very, very different types. And again, this is an opt-out statement, opt-in statement, which isn't necessarily, but actually it's very colloquial, it's engaging. I'm happy to allow nice, like-minded companies to send me the odd brochure from time to time. Yeah, well, go on, why not? So, you know, you'll all have your different wordings, but actually think about those words. Do they engage? Are they right for your audience? And actually, is the statement worded as an opt-out statement? Because that's all that we need. And as a consumer, are you going to feel happy that your data is going to be looked after and that as a result, something good's going to come out of that? So as James said, it's really important that you make your opt-out statement visible at the point of data collection. So here's an example of one of the members that's here today. Really visible statement right at the point of data collection, although the box is pre-ticked. So everybody's automatically opted out. So it's all about, let's be really open and honest with the consumers. Good things can come out of sharing data. So we don't need to hide it or to try and con people into sharing data with third parties. So it's not about putting a permission statement there because you know what, the law says I have to. It's making sure that you're really open and honest about the fact that you're sharing data and that actually that it will lead to a value exchange. They will get something from it. Consumers like getting a lookbook. They like getting ideas. They get access to offers and discounts. And as Steve Jobs says, you know, a lot of people don't know what they want until you show them. So actually, you need to be able to communicate with these people to show them things that they don't even know that they want yet, but they will want it when they see it. So the reason why I showed you this video is from The Guardian is that what we'd like to do is we would like to create a video on behalf of the Alliance members that is designed for the consumer to understand the value of sharing data with third parties, so that if they share data, if they say that you can share data with other Alliance members, what will happen to it? And it'll be along the lines of the video that you've just seen. So we will finance it. But what we ask is that we get some volunteers that can help us work out what type of messaging you want to put in there to make it very clear what will happen to their data if they share it with you, with third parties. And so what we'll be able to offer you is that when you have your permission statement, and you can say, and if you would like to know more about what will happen to your data, click this link, and it will take them to the video, so that they can really, they know exactly what will happen. And as far as the general data protection regulation is concerned, you're being very open, honest, and transparent. And you're basically getting that unambiguous consent, which is really what it's all about.